What's up, bloodies? I'm back with another video. So today, this video is going to be about my most memorable experiences with my children. So this video is going to be all about my babies. If you're here and you're not interested, or you don't care about what I have to say, or you're here to see my tits, you can exit stage left. Now that we weaseled out all the losers, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with my daughter, because you guys know I have two kids and my daughter was born first. So when she was born and she was hospitalized. So basically the day that I gave birth to my daughter, she was hospitalized. Like, I held her for 5 minutes and then they're like, something's wrong, we have to rush her to the NICU. So they rushed her to the NICU and I wasn't able to go because I had just gotten out of labor. And if you've been through labor, you know, like, it's hard, especially with my daughter. I was in labor for 36 hours with her and I pushed for 45 minutes. I had to be able to stand up and walk before they would let me go see her. But her dad was there, so he got to go with her in the NICU. So where I gave birth at, they had a small NICU, and if it was a small little issue, you know, like jaundice or something, they just put her on the light, then she would have stayed there and then we would have been released to go home. But my daughter's case was so severe that they had to rush her to Rady's Children in San Diego. My daughter to the NICU, and I wasn't allowed to ride with her in the damn ambulance. I couldn't take her. This time, I was only 17. I didn't have a car. All the way to San Diego. We lived in Vista. Mind you, I just had my first baby. I just had a freaking baby. They're like, dude, you can't get up. I'm like, bro, I'm getting up. You're releasing me today. I'm going with my baby. So I'm like crying because my baby, I just gave birth to my baby. I got to hold her for 5 minutes and then she's getting rushed in an ambulance to San Diego, 45 minutes away, and I can't drive with her or anything. So we get to the NICU, you know, we finally get to Rady's, and they strap her up and everything. I'll insert pictures. And they basically say, like, she's too precious, you can't hold her anymore, you know, she just has to sit in this little freaking thing. And it was just so sad, you guys. She was there for a month. Basically, what she had was she had severe anemia, which means her blood platelets were very, very low. She was so pale, and she had to end up getting like 4 blood transfusions, and she also had to get a bone marrow procedure. You guys, imagine having your first baby, barely being able to touch her, and then she's rushed to the hospital where she has to stay for a month. I was in shambles. And so while you're there at the NICU, your baby is under 24-hour watch by nurses. Like, so you don't change a diaper. Sometimes they'll let you feed them, you know, but at this time, in the beginning, my daughter wasn't really eating. They had her on IV fluids, and I remember the nurses just telling me, like, dude, you're 17, like, you're such a good mom, like, because a lot of the moms there that were underage and their babies were sick, they would leave because you can't do anything. Like, you're literally just sitting around all day. Like, that's all you're doing. Like, you don't have to feed your baby, hold nothing. Like, literally for the first month of my daughter's life, I didn't have to take care of her. Like, nurses took care of her. So when it came to my second child, and like, he was perfectly fine, okay, and they just left me with him, I'm like, like, this baby, like, what? The nurses were just like so amazed at how good of a mom I was at the age that I was, and they're like, we're trying to track down moms your age because they're gone and their babies are about to go through major surgery and their babies are alone here. And they, like, basically moms my age, this hospital was in San Diego, so a lot of the moms they're like, oh yay, okay, I was on lockdown for 9 months and now my baby's sick and I can't handle it. So instead of being here with my baby every day, I'm gonna go out and party because the babysitter, which is so messed up, you guys. Like, there were so many babies that I just felt so bad for that just had nobody there with the baby. Me and my kid's father stayed there literally for a month. When I tell you we stayed there, we literally stayed at the hospital. Not somewhere around the hospital, but literally at the hospital, in the hospital waiting room. Mind you, while I'm bleeding still and having elephant's feet because I just had a baby, literally, and Rady's Children does have a hotel for you know, families that get admitted, like babies get admitted to the hospital, but their hotels priority are people that come in from out of state because it's one of the best hospitals in the world. So people that fly in from all over the world, they get priority in the hotels because obviously they're from out of state. Whereas to somebody that lives 45 minutes away, they figure you could figure it out. We'll put you on our list, but it's very rare that you're ever gonna get a room here. So we never got a room there. So we stayed in that hospital waiting room every single night and day. We left 2 times. One time we left because there was a rich whose grandson was there, and she would see us all the time, like, you know, going to the hotel across the street from the hospital. It had like food and like bathrooms where you could like shower and stuff. Like, I was not leaving my baby like for nothing, so we would go over there to shower, and they had like little nap rooms where you could like basically like everything was free, you know, but you could like sign up and rent like a room with a bed and a clock and pillows and all that, and you could nap in it for like 4 to 5 hours. Every day she would see me and she'd be like, do you ever go home? She was like, do you ever go home? And I was like, no, I'm not leaving my baby, even though I wasn't in the room with her because I couldn't do nothing. She was just like, you never go home? And I'm like, no, never. And she's like, you don't ever just like get a hotel around here? And I was like, no, I stay here with my baby every night, even if I'm not allowed to sleep in the room with her. Well, like, one parent could stay the night in the room with her, but like we felt like she's under 24-hour watch, we'll just stay together in the waiting room. So that's what we did. But so she was like, oh my God, you're so brave, and I'm sorry that your baby's here. She ended up getting us a hotel for the night because she was like, you should sleep in a bed, like you just had a baby, you should sleep in a bed and have a hot shower and just relax for one night, put your feet up. And like my boobs were so engorged because I wasn't able to feed my baby. She couldn't eat, and like I didn't have no privacy to really pump and save them. So she was just like, I'm gonna get you guys a hotel. So she got us a nice hotel in like Hotel Circle in San Diego for the night. So that was the first night that I ever left. And then the second night I left to go get her room and stuff ready when we were able to leave the hospital. But that was the scariest, hardest time of my life. Just having a baby, and you know, my baby was sick, but now she's strong and she's great and she's getting on my nerves, so that worked out. So yeah, the first time she called me a bitch. And I mean, I know some people are gonna probably chastise me for this, but I really don't care because I'm a great mother and I am the mother that I am. So basically, I have a potty mouth. I cuss a lot, but since I've been doing YouTube, I have been trying to work on my language. But that's besides the point. So basically one day, like when my daughter was real little, she was like my son's age, like around 1.5, and she asked me for chips. And I'm like, no, you can't have chips. You haven't even ate breakfast. So she's like, walked off with an attitude. So I'm like, whatever. Then like 2-3 minutes later, she comes out the room crying. And I'm like, what's wrong? Her dad's like, I spanked her because she called you a bitch. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, she told me, mommy said I can't have chips. Mommy's bitch. And you guys, I just started dying laughing because it was like she was so little, and it was just like I seen her face and she was looking like, yeah, I said it, and it was just so freaking cute. Oh, I love her. But anyway, so for my son, my most memorable experiences with him are, the first one would be when I went through my miscarriage. And like, if you have ever had a miscarriage, you know that it basically, you go through labor basically. I don't want to get into too many details because I don't want to cry. I was having these strong cramps, and it was like my son just felt that I needed somebody to comfort me and love me. So he just came in the room and he just let me hold. You get contractions is what I mean. So as the contractions got stronger and stronger, I would just squeeze him, and he would just squeeze me back and love me, and I was just like, I love this little boy. And then the second one was when I got my first tattoo. He came in the room and we were trying to kick him out because I'm like, dude, I'm about to get a tattoo, I cannot hold you, like you need to let me deal with this, like go, and he's like, no. He just started crying, so I'm like, whatever, and I held him, and he just sat there and let me hold him the whole time, and he didn't move. Like he literally let me like just like squeeze him as I was getting my tattoo. So peaceful and just so sweet of my little boy, like like I feel like my son is always there for me without even me having to ask, or without me even saying anything. Like anything emotional that I go through, that I battle on my own, my son just shows up randomly. He just shows up and he's there. I don't even have to tell him like what. And my son's not even 2 yet, he'll be 2 next month. So me and that little boy, just, we're peanut butter and jelly. We go together, okay? We go together. So yeah, I don't want to give too much because I hold my children so close to me and I don't like to give up too many memories. But I will insert some pics from when my daughter was hospitalized. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your mamas, your uncles, your aunties, your daddies, your side chicks, everybody you know, to like this video, to check out my channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Love you, buddies.